Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from San Diego, welcome to the stage is Zoltan Kaszas.
Hey! Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for coming out. This is awesome. We're here at a church. Yeah. This is where comedy should be done. And just hollowed out church. Glad to know religion's doing well out here. When a comedy club has the money to rent an old church, you're like, oh, that was on the market for a while. That's definitely what it is. So thank you. This is awesome. It's first time, not my first time in Scotland, but my first time here in Glasgow. And it's very nice. It's good. I don't understand anything anyone says. And you guys are sure to murmur it, aren't you? It's like an extra little prank. You're like, and I'm like, uh-huh. I've been doing that when we checked into the hotel. She was telling me all the stuff about the hotel, and she's probably telling me where to go to get to the elevator and how to do everything that I'm like, And then I stood there, I'm like, where's the elevator? And you guys call that a lift. That's good. I love all the little differences. I like the get on with it or something. You guys say that, don't you? I had a server go, are you getting on? All right. And I was like, yeah. You know? Does that mean order now? Or is that just a how's it? You know, how's it going? Because I remember I saw a movie. It was like a comedy movie where like a guy and a girl met at a bar. And then the guy was like timid about getting her to come back to his place. And she just goes, so you want to get on with it? And they ended up having, and I'm like, oh, so when the waiter was like, how's it going? I'm like, we just want to eat. You know, like, I didn't know what he was asking. I'm like, I don't know what they offer here. It's very nice, cold, nice and cold. Everyone's been apologizing, and apparently last week the weather was immaculate. Everyone's been like, oh, he should have been here last week. It was great. Everyone's covered in sunscreen. I'm like, no, this is what I wanted to see, all right? I don't want to see a bunch of pale white people burning in the sun. I want to see people bundled up. I want to see rain. I want to think about poetry. That's what I want to think about. I want to have a pint and say stuff and do things. That's what I'm into. It's been a fun start to the trip. We before we even took off, because we landed last night, and before we took off from San Diego, we woke up in the morning, and we have two, my mother-in-law and my mom. They're very anxious people. And they're like, so you're going on tour? You're still going to Europe and you're going to go to all those places? And we're like, yeah, we're going to go to all those places. Like, you do know there's a war? It seems to ever be spreading. And we're like, yeah, we noticed that. And we're still going to comedy, you know, because this could be the last chance. And you got to get it all out, you know? I got to get all these stupid words out. So they're already nervous, and then I remember we woke up and my mother-in-law sent both of us a video of your train station on fire. And I'm like, my first thought was, oh, the war's gone to Scotland. That was my first thought. And I'm like, they're gonna definitely be afraid. And it wasn't. It was just a vape shop caught on fire. Because that's what those do, all right? I don't know how you guys look at... I don't, like, it might be different here, but we look down on vape in the States. Not to their face, because they're dangerous and they'll cut you. But the people that vape in the States are like, they're like someone's, son that won't move out. And they're good at video games, but they don't get paid for it. And you can't tell if they're an internet terrorist or... But they have like dark jokes where you're like, I don't know how to feel about that. Do you mean it haha, or do you mean like we have a meeting on Mondays? You know, like, how do you mean it? That's how we look at vaping over there. I don't know, maybe here it's like a very high class thing. You guys put it in a pipe and then you just plug in your... I don't know how you do it. That's how I picture it. That's how I picture you doing it nice, but I can't believe those vapors burned down the good train station, you know? Because that was how we were going to get to the next town. That was the plan. We had the train tickets bought. We were going to take the train tomorrow morning and go to Birmingham, and not anymore. Now we're flying on EasyJet. Which is that the one that they use the soundbite on the internet when things are going wrong? That's a different one. All right. Yeah, have a lovely holiday, and then everyone's sad. You know what? The Instagram videos I'm talking about, someone's like on fire. Yeah, what's it called? Jet 2 holiday. Yeah, it was the 2 that got me. Because my wife, she plans the flights and the trips and all that. She's like, we can take a flight. It'll take like an hour. And it's like, she gave me the airline name. I'm like, I don't like the name of that. That's going to be... And I still don't know how that flight's going to go tomorrow. They asked a lot of questions about the size of our luggage. And I'm like... That's not a good sign. If you're asking, yeah, how big's your second bag? And I'm like, what? What do you care? Oh, we care. And I'm like, just get the most expensive ticket. It's still not that bad. Just get the most so they're not weird. Oh, you gotta burn your clothes. So you're saying we should have stayed with the train. That's what you're saying. Yeah, I don't like those. I remember I went on one of those airlines once in the States. We have a place called flight airline called Frontier, and they did a thing where they started charging people for their carry-ons, which is insane. To charge someone to bring stuff is crazy. You're already paying to fly, and you're like, that's not the full rate of the ticket. And you're like, what? Well, who then? Who is just buying that ticket and bringing... Who are you helping with that fare? Honestly, are you just helping a serial killer? Like, who are you helping? I gotta get out of town. Do you have any bags? No, hurry! Hurry, now! I gotta leave. Normal people bring stuff, all right? You should be very suspicious of anyone that's like basic ticket, no luggage. You're like, give that airport dog a once around on that guy. Let him get a good sniff, you know. 8:43. Sorry, I forgot what time I came out here, and then if I forget, I won't know how long to stay, and then I'll stay too long, and then you guys will be too polite, and then someone's gonna yell, "Our flight leaves in an hour," and then we gotta go. That'll be a whole thing. I don't know. I'm very excited to be here. I dig your whole culture. Just so you know, I'm a big fan of it. I like the sweaters. Everyone looks so distinguished. Like, everyone looks like they know stuff. Even if you said something dumb, it sounds smart. Like, it's just the way I love it. Everyone's father looks like a retired doctor. Everybody on the flight, everyone just looked like, oh man, that guy knows something. You know, he knows something. He retired from doing something real good. All of his kids are growing up to do something real good. I just dig all of it. And I feel dumb and poor when I'm here. Because we don't dress as good as you guys. You guys dress... This is my nicest... This is all I brought, all right? This is my nicest shirt, and there's some restaurants my wife signed us up to go to where I'm like, I don't know if this shirt's going to cut it. Because I didn't bring nice shoes. These are it. Don't look at them now, but they're fine. They're fine. But if it's one of those places where some guy's wearing like a scarf with a suit, I'm in trouble. Everyone's nice. One of the things I definitely do enjoy about your culture is you seem very open to just laughing at people. And I appreciate that, all right? We flew out of here on British Airways, and I forget what they were handing out menus for the food, and I thought they gave us 2 menus, but it was one for my wife, and I tried to grab it from my wife because I thought there was 2 of them stuck together. I'm like, hey, don't take both of them. And the flight attendant was like, no, here's another one. I was like, oh, I thought they were stuck together. And she went, and she walked off. I'm like, oh, I like that. They laugh at people. Because I love to laugh at people. You see someone trip or something in public, give it a good... You didn't think that was gonna... Look at you down there. That went down, you know. Because it's you know, as ignorant as we are over there, we all just clump everyone together. Because there are definitely parts of Europe as a whole that definitely, how we went to Germany, they don't laugh. And I have a show there, and that's gonna be a test, isn't it? There's 500 people showing up, and that's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be 1,000 eyes staring at me, barring any injuries. That's gonna be around 1,000 eyes Hopefully, I like the people that caught the second joke. Oh yeah, some people don't have both. That is true. But yeah, I remember that was one of the first. I didn't know that like German people they don't smile that much, and they stare. We noticed the staring, but they don't smile that much. And when it clicked was my wife and I were out there, and then a lady tripped in front of us, and we laughed at her. And you guys get that? That's your whole. She wasn't injured, by the way. It was just a little stumble, and she made she made a little noise. She made a fun noise. She wasn't hurt. That's comedy for everybody. We laughed, and then there's like people around us, like, oh, why would you laugh at that? I'm like, oh, they don't laugh. But they stare. They should tell you that when you go through customs, when they stamp your passport. Hey, welcome to Germany. Just so you know, we stare. And we don't smile, so that's a good... That's crazy. Like, because I was raised the complete opposite. I was raised not to stare. As my mom would be like, hey, don't stare, that's rude, we don't stare. And over there they were raised like, why aren't you staring? That guy looks uncomfortable, stare at that man. Stare at him while he paces this hotel lobby looking for a place to sit down. Stare at that man. God, that was awful. We went there, we're going back, but I think it's gonna be better this time. We went there, and it was a nice hotel, and they had like a hotel buffet breakfast. It was all included, so we were down there, and it was all jammed in there. I don't like restaurants where we were all jammed in there. I don't even like talking, you know? Like when my wife and I sit in a place where I'll say something, she'll be like, what is it? I'm like, nothing, just forget it. And she's like, just say it. She doesn't have what I have. She's like, just say it. I'm like, I can't. There's people, you know. It's not even important, you know. Like, and she'll be like, just say it. I'm like, all right. The valet looks like Richard Gere. All right. That needed to be said at a louder volume. Now they know. Now they know. You know. But I remember I hated that hotel because every day I would be at that little breakfast and I was just eating. And I remember I finished my breakfast. And Emma, my wife, she got up to get more feed from the buffet. And then I was going to join her. Because I wanted some more food too, but I didn't know where to put my fork and knife because I pushed the bowl away. I'm like, you can take the bowl, but I didn't want them to take my fork and knife because I had to stand in a line to get my first fork and knife. And while I was standing there, I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands. And so I pulled out my phone, but it was Germany. I didn't have cell phone reception in Germany, so I'm just reading Best Buy emails that won't load. And I remembered that. I'm like, hold on to your fork and knife, you know, because you don't want to do this line again. And I didn't know where to put the fork and knife. I didn't want to put it in the bowl because they're going to take it. And I couldn't put it on the table because there's egg yolk dripping off of it. And what I wanted to do was just suck off the egg yolk, all right? That's what I do at home in the privacy of my home. I just suck off the egg yolk. But I couldn't because I felt like everyone was staring at me because they were. And so I was stuck in like social purgatory. I'm like, I don't know. I can't put it there. I don't want to stand in that line. I can't suck it off. And then my wife came back. I was going through this for so long. My wife had time to get more food. Come, sit back down. And she doesn't have the social anxiety that I do. She threw a fried egg right on top of a croissant. Just wow. Egg yolk flew everywhere. And it gave me the confidence I need. I was like, hell yeah. Sucked off the egg yolk. That's why you have to marry your opposite, okay? If you're nervous, Nelly, like me, you can't marry another nervous person. Otherwise, you're both just there going, I don't know what to do with her fork. I deal with that a lot. I don't know. Social anxiety isn't always there. It's just sometimes there. And sometimes I don't have it, which is weird. And sometimes I'll talk to strangers, and it goes well. You ever have that happen? You talk to a stranger, and it goes so well, you repeat the conversation in your head afterwards, and you're like, that was awesome. What? You were so smooth back there. You were courteous. You didn't say anything rude. You were funny without trying too hard. You remembered to blink. That was awesome back there. You did so good. You know, at the end, he's like, see you later. And you're like, not if I see you first. You're like, where the hell did that line come from? You were sharp back there. That was awesome. But then other times I feel like social anxiety is kind of a failsafe to keep you from embarrassing yourself in public. It'll just be like, no, don't do that. You know, don't do that. Don't go outside today. No, today feels like an embarrassing day. Stay inside. Like I had this, we ordered room service when we first got to Germany. It was a long flight, so we got to the hotel. And my wife's like, hey, I'm going to order room service. Let's just lay in bed. So we put on the hotel robes and laid in bed. And she's like, hey, when the food comes, can you get it? I go, yeah, for sure. And then a few minutes later, there's a knock at the door, so I got up. And you ever forget what you look like to the outside world? Like, I know who I am in my heart. I'm a good person. I pay my taxes. I would never hurt anybody. But to the outside world, I'm wearing this robe, and I just didn't realize it. I remember I opened the door, and it was a young woman there, like 20, 21 years old, and I was just there like... Not to her, to the food, all right? Like, we hadn't eaten in hours. We were famished. I'm like, and she's like, I know. And I'm like, come on, don't be bashful, bring it on in here. And she brought the food in, but she never stepped foot into our hotel room. It was like a magic trick. Her feet were planted in the hallway, and she just shoved the cart. She just like Stretch Armstrong, just there you go. And I remember going, what is wrong with this girl? And I was like, whatever. And then I closed the door. And then I turned, there was a full-length mirror, and I was like, oh. That makes sense. Yeah. This is who she saw in the training video. Probably. Like, well, I'm sure when she got the job, they made her watch, like, a safety training video. It's like, hey, if there's ever a grown man in a robe going, come on, don't be bashful. That sucks to find out, isn't it? You just know who you are, and then you catch yourself, and you're like, that looked creepy to that person. Damn it, you know. But no, it's going to be a real fun trip. We're going to EasyJet, whatever. We're going to find out why they ask so many questions about our luggage. Who the hell knows centimeters? That's what they asked. It was like, oh, how many centimeters is your second bag? And I'm like, what? Now I gotta pull out my phone and try to measure my... Just let me in, all right? Stop messing around. I gotta get over there. And the train station burned down. Trust me, this is not my first choice. But yeah, I hope your train station gets up to ship. It looked beautiful. Sorry. I don't know if that's a historic thing that went down, but we walked by it, and they're still putting water on it. And I was like, man, that is... I'm telling you, vapes. These are the people that are going to survive. Whatever comes. But yeah, fun stuff. Fun time to be traveling around the world. Things are going well. I don't know if you keep up with the news. It's pretty wild. I haven't watched any of the news about the war here, but I was watching it before I left to come here, and it's insane how I'm very lucky where I live. I think you guys are too, because it's not here. Because they showed the war, and it's just mayhem and destruction and sadness. And then they're like, oh, it's also affecting us here at home. And it was just some guy at a gas pump going, That's what they said. They're like, also affecting us here at home. Look at the price of gas. And it was, like, before that was just people crying at a funeral. Then they cut to a guy that looks like me putting gas in his car going, they're killing me out here. And you're like, I think you should shut up. Just don't go anywhere. We're very lucky. I don't know. We didn't pick him, but some of us did. He had Kid Rock, you know. The other one didn't have Kid Rock. Isn't that crazy? That's going to be in the history books. And they're like, how did he win the election? He had Kid Rock. And he had a Kennedy that was alive, but he was like an offshoot Kennedy. He was like a discount airline Kennedy. He has cooler people, like the podcasts. We live in a different era. We like podcasts now. We like when people sound smart, but not too smart. But just, you ever hear someone play the guitar, like the first 10 seconds of like a Metallica song, and you're like, that guy can play the guitar. But then you're like, hey, can you play the next riff after that? Oh, no, I can't do that. That's the bar for intelligence now. Hey, did you read the introduction to 10 books? You're like, yeah. Did you read the rest of the book? Oh, no. I got a nice stack next to the bed, though, and I like to make sure the cleaner thinks I know what's going on. Thank you, one. Thank you, one person with a cleaner. We have a very nice cleaning lady, and we pre-clean for the cleaning lady. Because we don't want her to think we're total pigs. And And then I stack like my better books next to the bed, so I'm like, I want her to, I want Susanna to think I know what I'm doing. You know, isn't that weird? Like at hotels, I never let them in. They're like, oh, would you like a clean? I go, get out of here! Every time they come, it just sounds like I'm finishing dismembering a body in there. Just, I need more towels. Never come into my room. It's a mess. I'm not taking my clothes out of that bag. I'm not doing that. I don't know. There's weird hairs in the drawers. They're like, whose hairs are those? I'm leaving my clothes in my bag, and you can't come in here. We've done weird stuff. Yeah, I don't like anyone coming around, sniffing around. I'm like a very private person. I like baths. I took a hotel room that has a nice bathtub. Took 2 baths already. I haven't even been here 24 hours. Taken 2 good soaks. And the second time I noticed a lot of hair in the tub. And I'm like, that had to have been mine from the last time, right? And then it just, I've been so jet lagged. I pulled the cork on the tub and I didn't leave as the water left. I've never been that tired before, where I've stayed in during the evacuate. And it was weird. I don't know. I can't describe the feeling, but you feel your weight again. Like, it felt like I was training to be on the moon, and then they're like, now we got to train you for the gravity on Earth. So then it just comes down. And I'm just there watching my balls dry. And I'm like, I think I'm ready to go. I think I'm ready to go see the Earth. This is how I trained for a show at a former church. I take a bath and then I let the water run out. My poor wife's on this trip. She's like, I was like, oh, do you want to go? And she just sees the dread in my eyes. I don't want to do nothing. Like, I want to be the YouTube guy. They'd see, the traveling. Woo! I just made an appointment. We're going to learn some basket weaving by a local villager. And then we're going to pet her donkey. And she's going to make us, she has cheese in her drawers. And it's old Scottish cheese. I don't know, I'm making stuff up. But, like, there's people that are into that. And then they film it. And then you watch it. And you're like, man, I'd love to be that adventurous. And I love the idea of it. And then I get out here. And I'm like, I got to get up. Can't you just bring some of the cheese here? I don't need to see it, Like, we went for a walk today, and we just picked the one part it rained in. And by the time we got out of bed, my wife's like, I found a good coffee shop. I was like, cool. We walked there, it was great. And on the walk back, it started raining. And then it started hailing. By the way, on the phone, it said no weather at all. Have you ever looked at? I know you guys are used to it, so it's insane for someone from San Diego. I came from a postcard, and then landed here, and I'm like, did you know it rained when it wasn't supposed to? And they're like, oh, this poor guy's not going to survive nothing. This poor guy. Yeah, we came from a postcard, and then I didn't bring an umbrella, and it didn't say it was going to rain, and then it started hailing. So we were just like under a building overhang eating an egg salad sandwich, which we thought was hot, and then it comes out cold. You ever make that? That's probably just a normal dish you guys have. And I liked it, but you ever expect hot egg and you get cold egg with mayo? It's jarring, all right? And you're like, oh, they don't have as much steam here as... Oh, it's cold eggs! I'd like it if I was ready for it, but man, I thought it was hot. I can taste the fridge it came from. Thank you. I like some of the, I love doing comedy because you can tell who's like, that one really struck you. There's certain jokes. The cleaning lady joke got someone back there, and tasting the fridge through an egg salad got this lady right here. And it's like, yeah, who hasn't been to a family barbecue? We all have family members where you're like, don't eat a thing out of their fridge. They don't believe in expiry dates. But no, it's been wonderful. It's been a great trip. It just started. I'm gonna eventually figure out what time it is, but I don't know. It's been good. We've been enjoying it. I don't keep up with enough stuff. I think my wife kind of keeps me in the loop of what's going on. Like cultural things that change. I'm like, people still saying this word, and they're like, they've never said that word. But she keeps me up to snuff on things. Like last week, she taught me about house burping. Is that a terminology that you're nodding your head like you've heard of it? I didn't know about this. And they made an article in the New York Times about it. So it's like a popular social media. Can you explain very quickly what house burping is?
Especially in Germany, they'll open all of the windows.
Are you German?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, especially in Germany. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
I read the New York Times article.
Oh, you read the Times article. All right. But I'm sorry, I cut you off.
So they open all the windows in the house, even in the wintertime.
Yes.
It's like actually a law.
Oh! I missed that part of the article.
For landlord, it's a part of the lease agreement that you must burp your house for a certain amount of time to let the air
Circulate through. Oh, that sounds so much better. Because, like, I didn't know, that makes sense in, like, a place where it doesn't warm up and you're like, hey, get it out. But, like, my wife, she was reading this thing to me and she's like, it's where you open the windows to let the fresh air in. And I go, I don't think that needs a name. That's how I felt about it, but I guess it, right? Like why do we live in a day and age where we have to brand and name everything? And you're like, hey, I do this once a month. I open all the windows in my house. Why do you do that? Oh, we're burping the house. And then there's articles about it, and you're like, that. I don't think it was that long ago. People would just be like, it stinks in here. Open the house. And I guess in Germany, landlords got tired of going, hey, it stinks in here. Can you open? We're going to write it in the lease. And we can't write it stinks in here because that's offensive to the renter. So you just go house burping. But yeah, I don't know why we have to give everything a terminology, Everything, in the last few years, I remember a couple of years ago, it was like, oh, this guy's raw dog in a flight. That was a term. And that's just where you sit on a plane. And you didn't bring headphones, and you didn't bring a book. That's all it is. You're like, oh, he's really raw dog in that flight. And you're like, why don't you calm down, all right? Why are you bringing unprotected sex into this? It's just me sitting here. He's raw dog in that flight. I'm like, couldn't be further from that. I am sitting here going, man, I gotta buy headphones. Hey, make it loud for the person you came to see, Zoltan Kaszas. That was almost a disaster. Oh my God. And I introduced myself. Oh, we have spared no budget. You think they would have told me, hey, there's a giant step when you go out. And I opened my arms like I was a legend come to see my... Hello, it is me, Birmingham. And then I almost blew out my knee. Oh, you have no idea what's going on with me. I ate Nando's before this, and it's turning. And I was already clenching when I walked through the curtain, and that last step could have opened the floodgates and a white floor. Wow, we were really playing a gamble on that. Jokes are better without being explained sometimes. Sometimes the more you explain a joke, you're like, wow, you're making it less funny with each pass. Sometimes it's more of a momentum thing, you just get it in. I'll Google what a Swiffer is for tomorrow's show. And yeah, what's a you guys Swiffer? A flash? A valide de who? Did you just go French on me? Man, you guys are so cultured. Dude, when someone in the States says something French, we mock them. We go, and you nailed the accent. Even me doing the laugh, you guys are like, is that the type of comedy we bought? And I love that about you guys. Everyone's educated. Everyone looks like they know stuff. You I don't know. You guys all look like you knew the answers were in the back of the book, but you didn't go look. You're like, I want to test myself. I want to better myself. I appreciate that. By the way, this is the type of comedy I do. I go around and I just give compliments. That's what I do. Sometimes comedians are like, let me take a dump on this town, and I'm like, no, let me tell them how great they are. And I'm here to make you feel good. Well, sorry, I just remembered I almost fell. I forgot for a second. I'm like, remember when you almost fell? Oh, for something makes me feel, if I would have fallen on my face, even with the hour I have, I wouldn't have won you over. You know? Even if I would have said something that was accidentally smart, you'd be like, yeah, but he fell. Remember when he fell? I don't think we should listen to him. Like, I don't fully get. See, you wanted to clap, but you remembered I almost fell when I came out, and you just didn't have the respect. You wanted to clap. I felt it right there. You're like, oh, but he fell. He's an idiot. He doesn't know how steps work. He has legs. Glee! Sorry, I just realized that's written back there. What a fun word to say. I think that's what the noise I made when I almost fell. Glee! And... oh... thank you. You guys are all very nice, but you also have a look on your face like you wouldn't have helped me up. I will say that. There's a little bit of like, we're too busy laughing, but eventually we'll check on you. And it's awesome to be here in London. This is insanity out there. I can't believe people that like my comedy put up with what goes on out there. Like, the people that would connect with my comedy would see that situation and be like, I'll just watch them on YouTube. I don't need to put up. That was insane. I walked here from my hotel going, oh, man. No one knows what direction they want to go. They're with groups. They're holding hands like they're trying to find the good end of the Titanic. And we gotta go up to the top, follow the rats, and then you mix in just people on bikes. There's people that tried to ride bikes through that, and they should be arrested. All right, get someone with a stick to hit them and go, "What are you doing?" But it's very nice to be here in London. Beautiful, beautiful city. All of the UK. This has been a whirlwind of a week. I came in on Tuesday, I think. I don't know. I can't tell if I'm jet lagged or depressed. Have you ever had that moment where you're like, am I sad or is my body not sure what time it is? Maybe you can decide. I took a bath yesterday and I was like, this feels good. But then I unplugged the water and I didn't leave. You ever stay in the bath as the water leaves? And you just slowly get your weight back, you know? And you're like, no, this is depression. That's definitely depression. I don't know what that is. It's been insane. Man, every town we just get up, we're like, oh, what's it like to be on tour? It's no sleep, and then hurry up, we gotta get to a train. And then you get on the train, and then you get there, you're like, hurry up, you gotta get to this. Now introduce yourself, run out there. And they're like, how'd you enjoy Birmingham? I saw the Sabbath Bridge and I took a nap. That's what I did. It was great. We started in Glasgow, whatever. You know what's so funny? Every town has corrected me since then. In Bristol, they corrected me. Birmingham, they corrected me on how I pronounce Glasgow. And over there, those people were like, we'll allow it. You know? I liked it. If they corrected me, I wouldn't have understood them anyway. And they whisper. Isn't that interesting about them? Like, I didn't understand a word they said. I just nodded. It was a lot of, oh, yeah. That was me checking in at the hotel. She's reading off all the amenities and where the elevator is, probably. And then at the end, I'm like, she's like, you're done. And I was like, oh. And I'm like, so the elevator? And she could see in her eyes, like, oh my God, you didn't get any of that. But I like it. They're hard to understand, and they whisper. That's good. You think you'd bring it up a notch. And they're like, no, you're going to get to my level. But no, it was a crazy, the day we flew out. By the way, I have my mom and my mother-in-law are like, you guys are still doing this European thing? And I go, yeah. And they're like, there's a war. And I go, yeah, not there. And she goes, how do you know? And I'm like, well, we better do it now, right?
And in the morning, we woke up to fly. My mother-in-law sent a news story saying that the train station in Glasgow burned down. And that was how we were supposed to get to the next town. And as soon as I got it, I'm like, man, the terrorists already hit it. And then I found out, oh, thank God, it was just a vape shop. You know? I've never been so happy to say, I've never said that before in my life. Oh, thank God, it was just a vape shop. I've never said, thank God it's a vape shop before in my life. Anytime I'm like, ugh, it's a vape shop. And I was like, thank God, it was the vape shop that burned down the train station. So we had to take an EasyJet flight to get to our next thing. That was fun. Yeah, I got to experience. I didn't know what I was in for. I should have known, because when we bought the flights on my phone, they just kept like asking how big exactly our bags were. And that's not a good sign, you know? Usually they're just like, do you want to check a bag? And if not, you can have one bag and then a second bag. And they're like, how many centimeters is your bag? And I was telling my wife, I'm like, we got to nail this, all right? They're going to throw our luggage out of the back. I got to tell you, I'm not a big, if anyone works for EasyJet, listen, maybe they're nice. I hope they have good benefits. I didn't care for them. I didn't care for that whole airport. I don't know if it's just the Glasgow airport or if all of your airports, but it's not the gate and where you hang out, they don't know each other. Like, we had breakfast at a restaurant, and we're like, we'll go to the gate later. There's plenty of time. And then as we're going there, I'm like, there was not that much time. It was just nothing but corridor after corridor, and then thin corridors. A lot of people heading on a plane. Maybe you want to make that a little wider. They're like, no, make it narrow. Let's get people to know each other. Let's bump into some strangers. Let's build up some animosity before we get on this flight. Yeah, that should go well. Hey, that guy that bumped me is going to recline a seat. I'm going to punch him in the head. And then we get to the gate, and then I look out the window. They're making us board outside. We went through a quarter mile of indoor hallway for them to go, get out there, climb up those stairs. And I go, I'm so mad at that vape shop right now. Because guess what? A train, they have an overhang. They protect you from the elements. They made us go outside. It was wind and rain. It looked like the end of like a World War II movie. Like, get on the plane. And we're all just soaking wet. Oh, what a disaster. Yeah, it was something, but I've been enjoying it. I like your whole general vibe. I will say that about the United Kingdom. I know you guys are all very different, and some of you don't like Scotland, or Scotland doesn't, and then the other one doesn't like the other. You're like, is that guy Welsh or whatever? And then the other. Listen, I don't know any of that. But I like your overall general vibe, you know? Like, it's been sunny, but when I landed, they're like, it's raining, but you should have been here last week. It was really nice. And I'm like, that's not what I'm here for, all right? I want it to be kind of drizzly. I didn't come here for sunshine. I don't want to see pale white people burn. I want to see depression look amusing. That's what it is. When it rains here, you guys just, with your little, and then, I don't know. You guys are just, I'm into it. Everyone has good sweaters. Good sweaters. You guys are all dressed well. God, I look like a bag of ass. This is the best shirt I brought for the entire week. This is it. We went to nice restaurants, and I walked in going, man, we should have packed more stuff. You guys are good people. I'm getting along with the language. Like, I know it's English, but... You know what I mean? I like the little things you say. How you getting on? You know? I've figured that out. Yeah. Let's get on with it. Those are two different things. I've learned that. Because I remember I learned that phrase in a movie. I watched a movie where like it was a couple, it was a guy and a girl, they met at a bar. And the guy was a little sheepish about inviting her over to his apartment. And she was like, she finally just broke the tension. And she's like, you want to get on with it? And he's like, oh, yeah. And they went. And so that's what that phrase meant to me. And we went to a restaurant when we landed, and the waitress was like, "How you getting on?" And I'm like, "Oh no, we're just here to eat." I was gonna get fish and chips and a beer, and then we're not like that. And but I very much enjoyed it. I don't know. I like your culture. You guys still like laugh at people, and I appreciate that. Other cultures aren't doing that as much anymore. They kind of put a pin in that, and you guys still laugh at people. Like if someone embarrasses themselves, you look at that guy. You'll laugh at them until they correct their behavior, and I like that. We don't do that in the States. We'll just go and film them silently, and then we'll post it, and we'll go, "Can you believe this guy took his shoes off on the flight?" And here, you guys, someone will just you bloody idiot or something. You know, you come up with something, and then that's good. I got laughed at on the flight out of here. We on British Airways, and it was a nice lady, nice older lady. She looked like she could have been someone's nana, and she handed out the menus for the drinks and the food. And she handed one menu, but I thought it was two of them stuck together. And my wife grabbed it, so I'm like, I tried to take it from her and split it. And I looked up, and she had another one there for me, and I was like, oh, and she went, just laughed her ass off at me. And I was like, and then I looked, my wife's laughing, they're both pointing, laughing, and then I'm like, I've never had a flight attendant laugh at me. And I've embarrassed myself many a time on a plane, and usually they go, like they give a little look and move on, and she was like, no, you dumb. You dumb, loud, tell everyone. So that's been good. But no, I've been enjoying all of it. It's not my first time in the UK. I did the Edinburgh Fringe Festival back in 2017, and that was cool. That's where I got to learn about British audiences. It was an interest. I don't know if you guys know about yourselves, but you guys are great. I came out a little timid after the last two shows. They were great, but there was just like a steep drop off between the ha 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 and then it would die. And I learned that in Edinburgh. Like when I did it, because like in the States, like I can go on stage with like a half finished joke, and then if I don't have a punchline, I just kind of personality my way through it. But you guys don't really dig personality. You guys are more. Like, if this was a restaurant and I was a waiter, you're like, more steak. And you're like, what about a side salad or some mashed? No, steak. I want steak. No meandering, just steak. And that's what it was like at Edinburgh. I had some new jokes I wanted to try, and then I was like, right? And then the audience was like, that's not done. Like, they didn't say it, but they said it. You know, they said it with their eyes. Like, oh, that's not done, lad, is it? I was like, no. And then I had to go write a punchline. It's easier in the States because they respect dumb over there. Like, if you're dumb over there, they're like, that guy's dumb. That guy's got a mullet and he's dumb. Let's listen to who he wants to be president and pick that guy. All right. I thought there'd be more on that, but it's a good time to be here. I live in California, and they just said that California? Yeah, we're in California. San Francisco, beautiful. Thank you. Are you guys out here on vacation? You guys live here, but you guys are just living the life. Dual cities, San Francisco. Man, you guys are loaded. Hell yeah. I just saw your glasses. Those are rich people glasses right there with the extra frame. Where's the driver? You know? It's got one of those. I like that. That is awesome. San Francisco's a beautiful city. I don't know if you saw that, but they said that Iran might have drones that can hit California. I'm like, we left at a good time. You know? Please don't do what the vape shop did to that train station. That's what I'm afraid of. I don't know, but no, I've had a good time of the trip, and then there's a lot more to go. We'll figure it out. I'll eventually get some sleep, or I'll just find out I'm depressed, and I'll just go along with that. You know, it's fun. I don't know. There's like a lot of things I want to mature on. I feel like I'm behind. Like we just talked about the States. I want to know what's going on in the world. I want to know what's going on in the news. And I'll click on the news and I'm like, I don't want to know what's going on. You know? Like, that's what my wife and I were blown away. We threw on the BBC the other night, and they had a discussion about student loans. Apparently there's a situation in the UK about student loans, and they had people with many different opinions, and they debated amongst themselves on TV about the student loans. And my wife and I were blown away. No one called anyone any names. No one gave anyone the bird. No one called someone fat or anything. And I was like, what is this? This isn't news. What is this? This is like a discussion in a library. Is this how it's supposed to be done? My wife, she keeps me up. She likes to learn. She keeps me up to date on what's going on. She reads articles. She looks on social media, and she's like, hey, do you know this? And she'll tell me things that sound important, and then I find out they're not. I found out that life has gotten so boring that we have now started branding things that don't need to be branded. Like, have you guys heard of house burping? Have you heard this terminology? Okay, you have heard it. So I didn't know what this was. My wife and I were laying in bed. Can you explain very quickly what house burping is? It's when you open the window. Yeah, to let the air come in. Yeah, I had to listen to that. I put my phone down and went, yeah, go ahead, what's house burping? And she's like, oh, that's when you open the windows and let the air in. I go, that's not anything. That doesn't need to be labeled. That doesn't need to be hashtagged. They wrote an article about house burping in the New York Times. And I read it, and they're like, yeah, that's where you open the windows and that's not any... They used to be just called, what's that smell? And then you open the window. It wasn't... That's how boring modern life is. There's New York Times journalists, respected journalists, sitting down, writing a 1,000-word essay on opening windows. Because life's kind of dull now. It kind of sucks. We give things terms that don't need it. It's extreme and it's not necessary. Like, I remember a couple of years ago, I was on a plane and I didn't bring headphones, and my brother was like, oh, you're raw dogging this flight. And I'm like, I'm just sitting here. Why are you bringing in unprotected sex into this? I'm just a man sitting here with my oh, you're raw dogging that flight. And I'm like, will you calm down? Is that how boring life has become? And it sucks because the other way sucks too. The reason life becomes so boring is because we're on our phones, and that kind of becomes dull. All the videos kind of become the same. Every time there's a trend and they're like, oh, I'm going to do the thing where I show all my photos from 2016. Wouldn't that be fun? And now it's 2020. And everyone's doing it. Hey, why don't we look up a photo from oh no, I was fat in 2016. Let's not post that. Can we wipe 2016 off the servers? But it's just dull. There's nothing there. And then you try to go make friends and you hang out with them, and you're like, I now remember why phones got popular. Because this sucks too. Like, my wife made a friend, and she's like very social. She like makes all these friends, and so now we have to go to events, and I gotta meet a lot of people I don't know, which sucks. I gotta walk around just going, you know, that friendly, I don't know what you just said, so you just start laughing. You're like, what do you do? And then they give you a job title you've never heard of. Wow! This sucks. Can we leave? You know? Like, my wife and I went to a pickleball gathering, a meetup of pickleballers. My wife and I started playing pickleball, and if you've never played, great sport. We shortened tennis, all right? We made tennis accessible to people that don't want to run around that much, all right? We brought the lines in, and we slowed the ball down. That ball was coming in mighty fast, and we're like, why don't you slow that down? And it's all easy. It's easy on the joints. It's fun. My wife and I play together all the time, and we play for fun. Well, I'm not trying to beat her. We still want to be married after this game. All right? So we just have fun. We just dink it back and forth, and we're like, that was a good time. We look at our Apple Watch. It's burned 300 calories. Playing pickleball. That's really good. Let's go eat something. You know, like that's the level of pickleball we play at, and then we go meet up with these people. And we go play, and this the couple that we played against first, I'm like, this isn't gonna go well. They were like one of these CrossFit couples, you know, they're just like swollen, but in a strong way, you know. And the guy had little shorts, and you could see his quads, like his quads had borders, like you could see, like he was like looking at a chart in a medical book. You're like, oh, that's the Majoris Casaurus, and that's the trapezius, how do you do? But his quad muscles were so, you ever see someone with quad muscles so big that their kneecap looks cramped? Have you ever seen like a real lifter and they stand up straight and their quad muscles make their kneecap look like a guy stuck in the middle seat of an EasyJet flight? Just like, I don't know what's happening here, but they're really coming across the border. Just looks like an invasion, is what it looks like. And I was looking at those kneecaps, and I'm like, we're going to be in trouble, I have a feeling. And then this guy let off a serve, whoosh, and it came in so fast. It made a sound I've never heard a pickleball make. It was a concussion. It was a cacophony of just, wah! And it echoed through the park. And it came and it curved. It came up here, and I'm like, that's a bad serve. You're going to go over there. And at the last second, it came down and it hit me in the big toe. Bounced. It came in so fast that it hit me in the toe, and then 2 seconds passed, and then I went. They were laughing. My wife was like, what was that? And I'm like, you're on my team. What are you talking about? I'm like, how dare you? This is a friendly game. I'm here with my wife. I want to leave with some respect. And you hit a curveball shot off my big toe, and you watch me whiff it. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Ah! That thing's already gone. And after he did that, everyone's laughing, so, you know, it's awkward. You're, like, meeting these people. They're friends of my friends, my wife's friends' friends. And I'm like, ha, 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 ha. Nice serve. You understood what that meant, right? Hey, you're really good. We're not. And that didn't calm them down. I thought we were dealing with, like, civilized people. We weren't. We were playing animals. And every serve after that was harder than the last. And they ended up beating us 11-1. I don't know how we scored 1. I actually think I remember it bounced off my toe and it counted as a hit. And they couldn't respond to it. They thought it was off my paddle. We scored 1. They beat us 11-1 in 8 minutes, which was, if you've never played pickleball, that is the fastest game of pickleball you've ever played. And I just didn't get it. My wife and I were so angry. I'm like, what do you get out of beating somebody like that? Like, if you're so good at a sport and it's like a friendly, it's not a tournament, we're just having fun, and you see that they're bad, what do you get out of just, let's murder them? Like, what do you think's gonna happen? You know, that's like, what do you think? Like, you think your dad's gonna show up and admit he loves you? Like, what do you think is gonna happen? He's not coming back. He has another family, all right? He never loved your mom. That's not your fault. He just never loved your mom. And he has other kids who he loves. And he's not coming. But you can't say that because his thighs make his kneecap look like this. And you're like, he's going to make me look like that. My wife and I were so offended. We drove home, and she was like, we got to get back at him. And I'm like how? She's like, we just got to get really good at pickleball. And I go, our lives aren't a movie, all right? There's no training montage happening after this where we're just doing push-ups and doing drills where I wake up in the middle of the night and she's like, go! And just throwing pickleballs at me. That's not going to happen. We live in real life. None of us are athletes. We don't come from genetics of athletes. We come from genetics of normal people. And it's never going to happen. And she's like, damn it. But she's like, it would be so good if we got really good and we just played them again. And yeah. And I'm like, nah, I don't think that's what we would do. I go, you know what's better? And she's like, what's that? I go, we get really good in this fantasy environment. We're the best pickleball players on the planet. We go play them, or we let them win. We let them win. We let them win like 11-5. Like, they won handedly. Yeah, they beat us. And then we go join a tournament that we know they're going to watch but not be a part of. And we smoke the tournament, all right? We win the entire thing. We get the big dumb plate, whatever. We get a sponsorship deal. I don't know what comes with this. And then they're there and they come up to us. They're like, "Oh my God, you guys, congratulations. You guys are so good. I can't believe, congrats on winning." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you so much." And they're like, "You know, I remember we played you guys. We beat you." And I'm like, yeah. Well, I mean, we knew you guys weren't on our level, so we, calmed it down because I don't have a weird relationship with my father. All right? That's the ultimate revenge. That would be the ultimate. I'd do a training montage for that. Truth be told, I don't even know my dad, so I don't know who I'm ripping on. Yeah, that's going to be a weird trip because this is ending in Budapest. And my wife was like, "What if your dad shows up?" I'm like, "It's going to be weird. There's going to be enough family over there. That could be awkward." So.
Hello. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube video. I just wanted to let you know that I have a brand new comedy special out entitled London Fog. If you haven't already watched it. If you have, go watch it again. Why not? That helps. Also, I'm on tour, the Worldwide-ish Tour 2026. Going to Europe, all over the United States, a little bit of Canada, the UK, which is also in Europe, but I guess it sounds more full when I add it. ZoltanComedy.com. Hit the link and only buy tickets from there. Don't go to resellers. Those guys are ripping everybody off. ZoltanComedy.com. Third time's the charm.